Most short films take weeks, if not months to complete, and I made mine in one night. Why? Mostly because I didn't want to drag the whole film into the next day, wearing the same clothes, faking the same emotion. It felt too tiring. And also because if I can prove that I can make a short film in one night, then you got absolutely no reason to not make a film today. Because 95% of aspiring filmmakers never even actually make a film. Not because they suck at it, it's just because they wait. Make sure that's not you. So a day before I shot this film, I had exactly 74 shots to shoot. I had everything ready and I was sure that nothing would stop this process. I had an extra battery for my camera, I had the dialogues ready, I had the story ready, storyboard ready, and also the fake blood, which is basically a mixture of honey and some food coloring mixed together. Maybe 2-3 hours before the actual shoot, I scouted the location to know exactly where I'm gonna film, what it's gonna be like, is there any problem with it? And that brings me to a really good point. Always scout your locations at least once before shoot, because you don't want unnecessary trouble that you're not prepared for. Even if you know the location, you cannot trust your imagination unless you go to the actual location and physically be there, because there could be many things involved like lighting, the angle, anything could change. So it's best practice to go there at least once before shoot. So I set out to shoot the short film at 12 a.m. because that's when no one will be on the street and I can happily shoot my short film. At least that's what I thought. Apparently midnight walkers are a thing. I don't know what these people do instead of sleeping. So anyway, I had to cover my blood-filled hands so that I don't get into trouble. Imagine you see a guy around 12:30 a.m. on the street with blood-covered hands. What would you think? Exactly. So I had to cover these hands with my body and everything. That was a challenge, man. I thought I'll complete the shoot in about 3 hours and I also considered the worst case possible. So I started at 12 a.m. and I think it'll end at 3 a.m. That's what I thought. But in reality, actually it went on like 4:30 a.m. or maybe 5 a.m. So another lesson, shit doesn't go as you planned most of the time. And that's okay. That's what makes you a better filmmaker. That's why we love filmmaking, isn't it? So when I put those honey/blood food color mixture on my hand, fake blood, I made a mistake. I didn't know it was a feast for mosquitoes because the whole time I was getting bit by mosquitoes like it was some sort of festival for them. I had a mosquito repellent cream though. It said it lasts 6 hours, so I thought, damn, if I apply once, I don't have to apply ever again and my shoot will be done. But no, it just lasted for 30 minutes and I had to reapply like a guy who took drugs or something. So that was another challenge I faced in the making of this short film. So what you can take away is your biggest threat in filmmaking is not your creativity. It's the random thing like sweat, mosquitoes, noise, people walking around at midnight, that kind of shit. And you need to be prepared for it because nobody knows what problems are you gonna have unless you actually shoot the whole thing, at least in the middle of it. I'm not really known for acting, I know that. I'm not really good at that because I've never even tried it. So it was really difficult for me to actually pull out those emotions while the mosquitoes are biting my whole body. But I still think I did a pretty good job if you watched my short film, Red Hands. And another thing I want to say is, if you're acting and directing, if you're performing on the camera and also moving the tripod around, then here's a really good cheat code that I learned over my past short films. Group those shots which contain the same camera angle. You don't have to go in the chronological order because if you keep the camera still and if you got 3 to 4 shots right away, then you saved the time, you saved your mental space of always moving around the camera to get the perfect angle, and you can get the hell out of there sooner. And if you're not alone, you can have someone handle the camera like I did with my sister. She stayed up the whole night with me until 4 a.m. because she had to leave because she was too sleepy. But whom do we blame, right? She helped me to hit the record on the camera because imagine me hitting the record with these honey blood soaked hands and actually ruining my whole camera. So that saved me a lot of time and I'm glad I had her. You and I, we both know it's always better to have someone to handle the camera. After my little sister left at 4 a.m. I sat down on the bench and I was waiting for that one shot left to do. Why was I waiting? Why can't I just get up and shoot and get the hell out of there? If you have watched my short film, Red Hands, you know that in the end there's a really cool match cut where the bench transitions to another location. Not exactly a location, it's more like a weather condition where it's night and it changes into a rainy weather. So if I wanted to pull that off, I need slightly different light conditions. So I was waiting for the sun to rise. It was hard, man, because I was reapplying my mosquito repellent cream and the mosquitoes were biting. I had all of this, fake blood on my hands and it was brutal. And I was also losing sleep. I lost sleep. What do you mean losing? I already lost a shit ton of sleep. And my brain was telling me to cut corners somehow and get the hell out of here. So I took out my phone. I started using ChatGPT to ask whether if it could work even if I don't wait for the sunrise and actually just move up the colors, move the lighting and mask it all over and some kind of video editing shit. If I do, then it will look at least half decent, wouldn't it? I thought to myself and I hoped it worked. So I planted my tripod and shot the final shot. It was me just going and getting the hell away from the shot. And that was it. And I went to home and I fell into the bed and I thought I'll get some 10 to 12 hours of sleep based on how much tired I was, but I woke up 3 hours later. Stupid circadian rhythm. So after getting up, the first thing I did was to see if that shot worked or not, like a psychopath. I went to my PC and I uploaded the files and I had to know if the match cut shot will work, and I was hoping it to be half decent, but you guys already know. It's the money-selling shot of the film. It came out so cinematic that it came out exactly how I imagined. That's why I love filmmaking, man. Because the things that you think you fucked up is actually the best part of the film. That's why we do what we do, for this thrill of perfecting our craft and putting it out there, right? So it took me 4 days to actually edit the whole thing, and I uploaded it on my YouTube channel and called it as... You can watch it now, the link is in the description. There's one last thing I want to say before I end this video. This wasn't just a short film. I just didn't make this for YouTube. I made this inside my course where I teach people how to write and build your first short film along with me. I'll put the link in the description as well. Join the course, Write Like Blood, and make your first short film. Because if you watch this far, then I know some part of you actually want to make a film. Bleed for it. Subscribe to join the cult, and I'll see you later.